Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and this is Carx Street 1.0. The long anticipated update is finally here. It dropped a couple of days ago, and of course the main feature this update brings is the mountain region. All of the races you're seeing in this video were recorded in the new mountain region, and I have to say it is not only beautiful but also really fun to drive around. So I'm really enjoying all the new races that I'm playing in this region, and I'm glad that some of the new clubs are of course in this region, and most of them are pretty high-end clubs as well. Now we'll get into that sort of stuff in a minute, but they also said that there were a lot of graphical improvements. Now I do see there are quite a few more lighting elements here and there and some different objects and whatnot, but unfortunately I don't believe this included any performance improvements. I'm still playing on my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and performance still leaves a lot to be desired. Now, luckily the mountain region is actually pretty darn good. I guess because you're not rendering the city when you're in that region, the performance is actually quite decent. But of course, as soon as you go into the city, at least on my device, the iPhone 12, the frame rate drops drastically. And this also happens when I drop all of the settings to their lowest. So yeah, I don't know if there's some sort of memory leak still happening or the throttling is just too much for this game, but it really doesn't matter what settings I'm on. The performance is still pretty garbage on my iPhone 12 Pro Max after just a couple of minutes of driving around in Carx Street. So hopefully they will continue working on this. And yes, I know the iPhone 12 is now 3 years old, so I'm looking at getting another device, but some of my other games that I play are still playing quite well, so I'm still thinking that there still needs to be a lot of work done in the performance area for this game. But enough talking about the frame rate, because that is not really what matters about this update. Of course, I already mentioned the mountain region, and of course I mentioned the new clubs. With those new clubs means that there are different requirements now, and of course a bunch of new cars, including a Lamborghini Huracan, and they also added the Diablo, but I cannot find a way to actually get it without spending real money, which is quite unfortunate. Maybe I missed it in the shop, but I believe as of now you can only get it through a paid offer. Now, if you haven't been following this game for a while, they also thankfully added a couple of different ways to grind out some currency. There are car deliveries and part deliveries, and luckily one of those tiers of deliveries includes gold. Now, you have to actually pay a certain amount of currency to unlock the different tiers of rewards. So there's a 15 gold entrance fee to unlock the 2 gold reward stage, which is quite annoying because you are literally paying to get currency, which yeah, really sets you back in terms of progression. And I noticed that the only club that my Audi TT qualifies for requires an R rating of above 1000. And as far as I'm aware, I either have to buy literally every single available customization option or do a full engine swap in order to qualify, which is really annoying because I've already spent so much time and currency into the Audi TT that I really can't calculate exactly how much it would cost, except for knowing that the direct engine swap is either going to cost over 450,000 credits because I will actually lose rating because the parts don't transfer over, or I think 350 gold. And again, same thing, none of the parts transfer over, so not only do I have to do the engine swap, but I also have to upgrade all of the parts after I do the engine swap. So I might have to go the customization route, which is kind of annoying because I like to keep my car stock. But even going through all of the new customization options, it's like 20 or 30 grand for a 10 rating increase, and I don't think there are enough options for me to customize in order to get to the required rating for the next club. And what's really funny is the reward car you get for the club I want to get into is actually an Audi TT, which I think is really ironic. So that's quite unfortunate. I really hope they continue to work on the grinding experience, because I guess you could say technically it's better than other games that usually will just lock things behind either limited time events or a paid entrance fee, or you know, something where you have to either pay to get in or have very specific requirements. In this game, you can literally start from nothing no matter what time you enter the game and work your way up through the different cars, through the different clubs. It will just take about well, forever, and that's really the problem that I have with this game. So hopefully if they keep adding new ways to grind for currency, maybe different events, maybe limited time events, special events, things like that, the grind might get a bit better, because for now it really just feels like the only reason why you play this game is to get more currency and then upgrade your car. It doesn't feel like you're playing for the experience, it feels like you're playing for the grind. So speaking of the experience, I want to go back to the mountain region for a second, because while I did say it is really fun to drive, I do have to say that it seems like it's only really fun to drive if you have a drift or rear-wheel drive focused vehicle. On my Audi TT, it's all-wheel drive, and because it has so much power, I do get to slide around a bit, but the tight corners and loaded hairpin corners does make it feel like it was specifically meant for drift cars, which makes sense, right? I mean, it's supposed to emulate that like Japanese mountain region, or California canyon region, where you really do want to have a drift setup. But I really do wish that they would add a way to swap my all-wheel drive system for a rear-wheel drive setup, because that would make my car drift eligible and make the game so much more fun. And I really don't want to have to compromise by playing with a vehicle that I don't want to drive. I really want to drive the Audi TT, but I also want to make a drift setup for it. So I don't care how unrealistic it is to completely swap a drivetrain. I want to be able to do it, and there should be a way to do it. Like, if they let engine swapping be such an easy thing, you just need, a boatload of currency, I don't see why they can't do the same thing for drivetrain swap. Now, maybe it's in the game, but I can't find it, so let me know if that is the case. But yeah, I would really love to change my Audi TT to a drift setup. So overall, this update is actually really amazing. I love the new mountain region. I still am kind of irked about the way that you grind for currency and the way that you get a better car, but it is better than other games, and all you need to do is just take a bunch of time. And if you're not worried about taking months and months to upgrade your car, you just hop on the game every day to do a race or two, then I guess it isn't so bad. But I really would also love to see them improve performance, because unless you're on the latest device, it really feels like the game struggles to have a high frame rate. Of course, I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on Carx Street. Are you ditching other games for Carx Street? Are you waiting for it to be released on PC? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.